Alright, hey guys, William Inferno here today. I am going to be doing a recap on Arc 3 of Chronicle of Biohero Season 2. I might be a little off my game today, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I do apologize, I have some white noise happening like all around the house right now, so if you guys hear any interference or anything, just, I don't know, ignore it. Okay, let's get right into it then with Episode 7. This had Episodes 7, 8, and 9 in it. So I'm just going to go through like the key events that happened in each episode and sort of the stuff that you should probably hold on to as you keep watching the series. This was a really intense arc. Like a lot of stuff happened really fast in this. And I'm recording this before Episode 9 came out. It's coming out this Saturday. So I actually don't know what your reactions to that are going to be. So I'll have to find that out later. But this is just going to be a recap of what happened. Basically in Episode 7, it was mostly a rising action episode, meaning that nothing super fast-paced necessarily happened, but there was a lot of build-up to the rest of the arc, basically. So we see that Umarak has red armor now. He's now like Umarak the Fallen, as the voice actor dubbed it. Stringer realizes that he's a drone, so he kind of wasn't aware of this before and everyone else was. He didn't know he died, and I know that this is where my universe gets convoluted, and that's why I make these videos, so I can explain things. In Hero Factory Evolution, he died, and then he was brought back as a drone in Darkness Reign, or End of Reign. That's it. I don't even remember all that stuff. Point is, he didn't know he was a drone, and he is, which basically means, to those of you who don't know the way I classify the characters in my universe, Stringer was living before, along with like Stormer and Bulk. They're all like actually like organisms with armor on and all that. If they're a drone, that means that they're like robots, basically. They run off of an AI. They're not technically living. So Mr. Meriton and Zib agree to help out to build a portal for Stormer so he can use the more powerful Mask of Energy, the yellow Mask of Energy. This is the higher up version of the red one that we've seen for so long. It's just the transparent Skull Scorpio mask, but you get the point. We find out that Gabby is the one who killed Akimu, the fake Akimu, I should say, which is elaborated on in Episode 8. Tahu and the other Toa are just inexplicably like angry, you know, like they are not willing to work this out. So that's something that will be important, knowing that these uniters are just mad. That's about it. So he tells Biohero to get off the island. Before Biohero goes, he gets new armor, which we don't see yet, but it's basically a teaser for something to come. And then Stormer basically just goes through the portal once it's built, so he goes to another world. Then we jump into Episode 8, like right away. We get Biohero and the illogical characters meeting up again, and they immediately notice something is super off about these illogical characters. If you don't remember, in Episode 1, there was a note left saying that, hey, Biohero, we're going on a trip, we're going on a mission. And we don't know what that mission was, we don't know where they are until now, and we still don't know if they were on a mission, what they were doing. It is revealed later in the episode, however, that they are drones, or bots, or life model decoys planted by Xenix. So they're not the real deal. They're not the real heroes. They're not the real Randy, Bam, Jake, and Mando. They're not any of that. They're just evil robots. But anyway, we get a nice moment between Vortex and Alexis, kind of establishing what their relationship is and what it was based on in the first place. So I love that little moment there. Basically, Biohero fights Furno, Excel, and Breeze. We get all the heroes, the drones going against all the protagonists and all that. But Biohero discovers that Core Hunter and Radaka have broken out. Radaka joins the fight and ends up killing Stringer, who technically wasn't living, but we cared about him a little, I hope. But basically, yeah, cracks his like neck area, and that kills him. And so he has this line where he says he's on the side of life. So even though he isn't living, he has learned. I relate it to Vision from Age of Ultron. I love his line. You can say whatever you want about Age of Ultron, but I love the moment where Vision says, like, they're sort of beautiful, like living people, like humans are sort of beautiful. There's grace in their failures. I love that line. I feel like it's like making me like something that you shouldn't like. You shouldn't like robots, because we all think they might take over the world, you know? In this case, Stringer is sort of like Vision in the way that he's thinking about the people who are living. He's like, I'm still going to fight for them. They've given me more than you have, you know? So, Biohero fights Core Hunter. Protagonists are apprehended by Xenix. We see that Xenix is the one behind all of this. He's with Umarak and Rudaka. And Xenix, you know, he kind of walks around, he's pointing out everybody's flaws, trying to irk them. He points out, you know, Vortex is super conflicted, he doesn't want to face himself. He tells Biohero, you know, where do you think you got your mask from? He's basically trying to level with everyone. He's like, you guys think you're so perfect, you're not. You know, I mean, neither am I. I mean, neither is Xenix. But, like, at least he has the balls enough to say it, you know? Umarak isn't having it, though. He's implicitly is not a person of just talking to people. He wants to get his hands dirty, so he slits Alexis's throat, and that's all we really know. And then it jumps into episode 9, in which Stormer's on the other planet, and that's all this episode really focuses on. He's on the other timeline. So Stormer's entered a new timeline. We see that Zib in this timeline is reestablishing the Hero Factory. If you didn't know where this timeline was based off of what Zib looked like and what they were doing and what he was saying, you would know by the end of this episode. Stormer meets that timeline's Furno, who was just created. He's basically trying to convince him and Zib of his like agenda, of his mission of being there. Umarak and Detrax attack them, which is enough to convince Zib and Furno that this Stormer is from another world, and that his agenda is to find his dead Furno. Which, by the way, there are some abstract moments in this episode that hint at what Furno is doing where he is, but it's not revealed quite yet, like not fully. There is a mysterious dimensional expert that wants to meet Stormer, and by this, you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, once Stormer and Furno get in contact with him and they plan to go there, they have this really good moment, I think, for Stormer as a character. He never really got to tell Furno how proud he was of him, you know? I mean, maybe they shared some good dialogue at the end of Final Curtain Part 2, but as a whole, I feel like maybe they didn't spend enough time together for Stormer to feel comfortable with the idea of Furno actually being dead. You know, this whole journey of Stormer, the past couple seasons of Chronicle of Biohero, he's just not willing to move on. And I think this point where he's talking to this otherworldly Furno that he's developing a relationship with, it's like now he maybe gets a little bit of what it's like to move on. And so that's why I like that moment. And of course, I pull the old William Furno on you and I kill that Furno off. Like, right, well, yeah. I actually, like, him, Furno, the new Furno in Tectonic's universe being dead, technically is out of my jurisdiction now. And now I haven't talked to Tech about any of, well, he knows what happens, but I haven't talked to him yet because the episode hasn't come out yet, so he hasn't actually seen it yet. I guess that Furno might not actually be dead, but as far as my story goes, as far as the story that I'm trying to tell, he's not coming back. So he's dead in terms of where my story is headed. But since this isn't the Tectonic universe, he can do what he wants. Speaking of that, Tectonic flies in at the end, is like, okay, what are you doing? Why is he dead? Why are you holding him? What's happening? Also, I will kill you if you don't put him down. So that's Tectonic's intro. I wanted to make it epic. I wanted there to be the build-up. You know, it's been a long time in the making. I think the first time I talked to Tech about actually doing this was January 2018, maybe December 2017. It was close to around when Rebellion released and when I was actually writing Season 2, and I was like, you know, it would really like blow people's socks off if like I finally crossed over with other people's stuff. And so I talked to Tech about this. There's more in store for this crossover here. There's more characters, there's a lot more to cover. So that's all I'll say on that front. So I should say Gabby is the one who assassinated that Furno, thinking it was Tectonic. I know that wasn't explicitly stated, but she thought it was Tectonic who she was assassinating because, you know, they kind of look alike. So that's all the notes I got. I'm not actually pushing anything back, even though episode 9 was delayed. I'm really going to try to keep this on schedule so that I'm done with season 2 before the end of April. And so what that means is next week I'll be revealing Arc 4 and giving you a little preview for it and revealing the thumbnail for episode 10 and a little synopsis. And then the week after that, you're going to actually start getting the episodes. So there's only 2 weeks until the next episode, which is cool for you guys. Not necessarily for me, that means I have to get to work. But, I mean, I would say that I love what I do, but I don't love editing. And I've edited a lot so far. It's getting a little bit tiring, and so I'm kind of ready to be done. I will not let that mindset affect the finished product. I'm still going to try to put as much effort into it as I can. That is all I have for you this week. Thank you guys for watching this. If you did, I know not a lot of people do, but I'll see you guys later.